What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Go ahead and type in the chat if you guys are excited. What's up, everybody? You already know who it is, though. It's your boy Alejandro De La Paz here. I have a presentation for you guys called The Emerging Killers. Of course, it's a tobacco prevention presentation created by yours truly. So, awesome. I'm so excited you guys are excited. If you guys ever see me looking down, I am looking at the Zoom chat to make sure that I keep you guys interacted. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, before I go on with my presentation, what kind of presentation would it be if I didn't introduce myself? You know what I mean? So obviously, my name is Alejandro De La Paz. I am from Corpus Christi, Texas. Shout out people from Corpus Christi. Let me know in the chat if you guys are anywhere near Corpus Christi. It's a beautiful city. I love it. Shout out to 361. I am a upcoming senior at Harold T. Branch Academy, which is a early college high school that, and I plan on graduating with an associate's degree. And since I'm a senior, that's coming up. Kimberly, woo woo Corpus. I know, right? I'm so happy I live in Corpus. This is my third year as a teen ambassador. I know I've been in the program for a long time. And all I can say about my experience is that it has been absolutely amazing. I love this program so much, and I hope you guys love it as well. So, and on the right, you can see just my social media ads if you guys want to follow that at any time or to ask me any questions. So, let's go ahead and get started with my presentation. The emerging killers of big tobacco, new and even more dangerous products. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of history. I know what you guys are thinking when I say the word history. You guys are like, whoa, Alex, this isn't school. Let's not do that right now. I know, but this is actually pretty interesting. So on this slide, you can see on the right side, a picture of a lightsaber. This was a picture of a lightsaber during one of the Star Wars movies. I'm just kidding, guys. That is actually a blueprint for an e-cigarette. I know, super crazy. It's super old. It was made in 1960, sometime around there. And it wasn't produced until around 2003. Once it was produced by China, America saw and was like, you know what? We're stealing that. Stole it around 2006, started mass producing the first generation e-cigarette. And as you can see, the evolution of the e-cigarettes on the side, it says a first generation are disposable e-cigarettes. My grandpa used to have one of those, and I remember seeing it and was like, whoa, that thing's crazy. And it would like puff out air. And I was like, whoa, like never, never. And then the second generation is a e-cigarette that has pre-filled or a refillable cartridge, meaning that either you buy it with the stuff already in it, which is not good, or you refill it, which is even worse. Then you have the third generation, which is the tanks or mods. These are the e-cigarettes that if you ever like scrolling, okay, let me tell you guys right now, I am always on TikTok. I'm always scrolling through there. Shout out the TXA What TikTok. We post some funny stuff on there. But I'll be scrolling through sometimes and I'll see people doing like vape tricks. They're not appealing to me. And they're most likely using these products because they produce a vast amount of aerosol. And the fourth generation is the pod-based e-cigarettes. Now, what that is the kind of generation that we're nearing right now, which is like the Juuls and the stuff that the youth are prevalently using, which is not good. We want to stay away from all e-cigarettes at TXA What. Anyways, before I go on with the presentation, I want to talk about an e-cigarette that started it all, and that was Juul. Juul was the biggest e-cigarette that ever blew up ever. I'm telling you, the e-cigarette started a literal uproar. Like, I don't remember going into a restroom in middle school and not seeing someone using one of these. And that is not a good thing. And as you can see on the slide, it says that this was one of the most popular products amongst the youth ever. And that is not good. But this is a gateway for youth to become addicted to nicotine at a very young age. And if you guys did not know, your brain does not stop developing until around the age of 25. And if you're using products like and that produce chemicals like nicotine and they're going into your adolescent brain, it is always going to change. Shout out Dr. DeNoble if you guys saw that. That was amazing, his presentation. So you probably heard something about a little bit about nicotine in there. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. But yeah, Juul was the e-cigarette that started everything. It started a literal epidemic. And as you guys know, we just went through a pandemic. It's a bigger scale of an epidemic. So I'm gonna show you guys this quote, and you guys might read it and be like, Alex, what what is this? And let me read it to you real quick. It says, "Those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it." I've heard that quote so many times in my life. It might have been reworded or whatever, but I wanted to put this in here for a reason, and that reason was because there was a return. Right now, like I said, we are kind of near the fourth generation of e-cigarettes, and they kind of made a return to their first generation. And that, as you can see on the slide, it says the return of a variant of the first generation e-cigarette. And if you can guess that logo, it is a puff bar logo. And these are a disposable e-cigarette that took over the world once Juul was gone. Unlike Juul, these puff bars are allowed to have many flavors, which is not good. If you saw a flavor like blueberry ice or cool mint, it would attract my eye. And that is because these big tobacco companies are doing this to attract us, the youth. But we, luckily, are showing you guys all the facts, everything you need to know so we can stay away from things like that. Shout out everybody that lives tobacco free, which is every person in this chat. Unlike Juul, like I said, these are come in many flavors that attract our eyes, but they also come in different puff sizes. So they can come in like 100 puffs, 200, or 500. And just thinking about someone vaping 500 puffs and then going to get more, like that is crazy to me. Like that is a lot of aerosol you're putting into your body. Like I would never. Anyways, we're going to get into the emerging killer side. And you probably are like, Alex, we talked about so many things that I already know. Well, guess what? Here are going to be some products that you probably don't know about. And these are dangerous products that I believe are on the rise in the tobacco industry. The first one I'm going to talk about is IQOS. IQOS is a Philip Morris product. And what I mean by that is that this product was created by a company called Philip Morris that has the tobacco company called Marlboro, which is arguably one of the biggest companies in the world. And this is also a heat not burn product. So what you do is you insert the tip of a cigarette into the little stick that charges, and it heats it up. Doesn't light it on fire, doesn't combust it, but it heats it up to the point that nicotine is still going into your brain. And one thing that always stands out whenever I look at IQOS is that look how modern they are. They're super appealing to the eye. Like I would wear white and gold as an outfit, you know what I mean? Like, because it looks good. So they put it on an IQOS, but that's not it. It doesn't just start with their product. But look at this. This is where I want you guys to type in the chat what you guys see and realize about these products. On the left side, you see a IQOS store. On the right side, you see an Apple store. Go ahead and type in the chat what you guys think about that. I don't know about you guys, but that is crazy. They are so similar. Let me know what you guys see. Jennifer, you are correct. It does look the same. Carolina, they look the same. Facts. I don't know about you guys, but anytime I go into an Apple store, I'm picking up every single iPhone I see to play with it. Like if there's Angry Birds on that thing, I am going on it. You know what I mean? And especially seeing the new like purple colors that they come out with. They're so pretty. And Kevin, you are right. They are so similar. And if you look at the IQOS store, I hope you guys would never see this and think it was an Apple store, because I know if I saw this, I'd be like, yo, let's check out the Apple store, and then walk in and be like, whoa, this ain't no Apple store. You know what I mean? So anyways, they are so similar, and it is like this for a reason. Like I said, Big Tobacco wants you guys to see this and be like, oh, it's kind of appealing. Let me try this, but never fall for Big Tobacco's traps. Another emerging killer that I really, really want to talk about is synthetic nicotine. And as you can see, it says a scary and new way Big Tobacco wants you to become addicted. Now, you may be wondering, Alex, what is synthetic nicotine? Hold on, guys. Let me show you. Just kidding. Anyways, on here is a definition that I found about synthetic nicotine. Synthetic nicotine is a chemical-based drug that is created in a lab and used to replace nicotine found inside of the tobacco plant. Think about that for 1 second. Synthetic nicotine is a chemical-based drug created in a lab by a mad scientist like Dr. DeNoble or something, and is used to replace the nicotine found inside of the tobacco plant. If Big Tobacco really wanted to replace the nicotine inside of the product, why don't they put something safe? You know what I mean? Why don't they put something that won't get you addicted, like synthetic nicotine? But anytime I hear the word synthetic, it just doesn't sound nice. Synthetic means like it's fake. It was created. Like anything synthetic is normally not as good. Like fake, like certain food is like not even as good as the original food. You know what I mean? So one thing that is another emerging killer is these synthetic nicotine pouches that are on the uprise. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this one is because it involves the synthetic nicotine. And I want you guys to learn about how dangerous this can really be. So this is a product called Nin. As you can see, just as colorful, just as bright, just as appealing to the eye as everything Big Tobacco puts out, because they want to attract you guys. Do not fall for their traps. This is a synthetic nicotine pouch It is an alternative to spit tobacco. So you put it under your lip and you would spit out whatever. And these products come in 3 milligrams and 6 milligrams of nicotine straight, which is so dangerous to think about. So let's put into an example that someone is addicted to these products. They're taking 3 milligram at the time, and they're like, guys, this thing isn't working for me anymore. Like, I don't feel the same thing that I used to whenever I first started. They would instantly move up to the 6 milligram option, which would make them even more addicted. And then they'd be like, wait, I don't feel the 6 milligrams anymore. I need something more. And they would move on to. That's why they say nicotine is a gateway drug, because it creates opportunities for you to go and get into worse habits. So, like I said, we do not fall into big tobacco's traps ever. Now, especially the blue dragons. The blue dragons never do that ever. Anyways, I want to read you guys this quote that I found on the NIN website. It says, experience a 100% tobacco-free nicotine satisfaction and a burst of long-lasting flavor with NIN Zero tobacco nicotine pouches. If you guys read that, I would be like, yo, like, these don't have nicotine in it, but you got to read it slowly. It says, experience a 100% tobacco-free nicotine satisfaction. There is still nicotine in this product. The synthetic nicotine is in here. And they do that because they want to look like the good guy. Big Tobacco wants to be like, yo, we don't have nicotine in our products. They're safe. They're good. Tobacco-free nicotine. Nothing in there. And they're doing that so that, they look like the good guys and that they can try and become more prevalent amongst everybody. Do not fall for their traps. And I know you guys heard me say do not fall for their traps like a million times, but I really want you guys to become educated so that you can also go back to your communities and educate your peers and be like, it has 100% tobacco-free nicotine, not nicotine in general. So now that I gave you guys a little bit of information on the products that are coming up and that are on the rise that we're going to stay away from, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about their dirty tricks. Big Tobacco has so many dirty tricks up their sleeve, and it is Say What's job and youth's job to stay one step ahead of Big Tobacco at all times. So what will Big Tobacco do next? In my opinion, these are my predictions. I believe that Big Tobacco will have a change in promotion and advertising. And what I mean by that is that maybe they'll change their signs that they post on the doors of stores, or maybe they'll come out with different type of ways to basically contact us and basically find a way to promote these products to us, the youth. And another thing that I think they will do is come out with a new product. And I say that, and you guys are probably like, companies come out with new products all the time, but this is different. They're coming out with a new product that is going to appeal to the youth's eye like Juul did. When Juul first came out, everybody was like, whoa, like all the youth were like, I guess. And then they became addicted to these products and it started a literal epidemic. We do not want that to happen. So always stay away from things that Big Tobacco puts out. And also, I believe that synthetic nicotine will be in more products. As I showed you, there's a product called NIN, and it is an alternative spit product. But they might be coming out and might have something on their agenda about creating a vape that has, synthetic nicotine inside of it. And lucky for you guys, I was able to teach you guys about how dangerous synthetic nicotine can be. And you guys will know whenever you see 100% tobacco-free nicotine, you'll be like, they're lying. They're just trying to look like the good guys. So I showed you my prediction. Let's go over a quick summary of what my presentation was about. And what I started off talking about was that e-cigarettes are going to continue to evolve. There was a first generation, which was the disposable, the second generation, which was the refillable, the third. Go ahead and type in the chat what the third one was. Shout out to anybody that can find out what the third generation was. What was the third generation e-cigarette? Miss Jennifer Steele, the goat of goats, literally said mods. Yes, the third generation was mod products. These are the ones that create a lot of aerosol. And then the fourth generation, which was pod-based e-cigarettes. They're always going to evolve. And like I said, Big Tobacco will come out with a product that will be appealing to the youth eye to get them addicted at a young age. Another thing we talked about is synthetic nicotine. It is a very dangerous and new product. You guys remember in Dr. Genoble's presentation when he was like, oh, well, everybody was getting smoking, and it wasn't until the 50s that we realized, oh, this is why everybody has cancer. You know what I mean? That's going to be the same thing with synthetic nicotine. People are going to start using these products and they're not going to feel like anything's happening. But later on in the years, they'll be like, whoa, this is why this is happening. And then we also talked about how Big Tobacco really does not care about their customers. Like, what a greedy company. Like Big Tobacco, if you throughout this whole presentation realize like, yo, like these guys are just doing this for straight money. Like, yes, they really are. They do not care. They just want to get the youth addicted at a young age so that they can be long time customers in the future. And one of the last things we did, of course, was predicting Big Tobacco's next steps. Well, we always like to stay one step ahead of our competition. Shout out Kobe Bryant, RIP. He always told us to stay one step ahead and read their movements. So it's always good to stay one step ahead of Big Tobacco so that us, the youth, can always inform the other youth. So that was my presentation, but it is now time for Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat, drop them in the Q&A box, and I'll be here to answer anything. As I can see, there is a Q&A already there. And it asks, how did you come up with these predictions? Well, I was basically like sitting down with the GOAT, Miss Jennifer Steele, and we were sitting down. We were like, hey, so it's always, like I said, it's always good to stay one step ahead of these guys. So what do we think is going to happen? And we sat down and we brainstormed and was like, well, they're always going to come out with new advertisements to appeal to us because they want to keep us addicted at a young age. Or that's what I believe, at least. And then we also started talking about, but if they're coming out with advertisements, they got to have something on their agenda, as in a new product. And then we were like, yeah, let's write that down. And then the last one was synthetic nicotine was on my slide. We were like, you know what, let's implement that. We believe that synthetic nicotine will become prevalent in other products that they create. Thank you guys for the question. Any more? Which of these new products do you think will be the new Juul? That is a fantastic question. I believe that I think it's gonna be either the IQOS because it's just so sleek. It looks like an iPhone, you know what I mean? And people will fall, like people that aren't educated will fall for the trap, and they'll fall for Big Tobacco's trap and start using these products, which is very dangerous. And they'll also be like, it's not lighting on fire, so it's healthy. And it's just Big Tobacco plays very smart, but we gotta play smarter. So I believe that the IQS will be up there in age once we further on with their figuring out like what it's all about. Any other questions for you guys? That was a fantastic question. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are enjoying conference. This is amazing. It says, do you think they will ban flavors for vapes? So it is a tough one to think about, if they will eventually come out with a flavor ban. So they did come out with a flavor ban for Juuls, which was fantastic. I rarely see Juuls nowadays. I don't know if you guys type in the chat if you guys ever see anybody using Juuls anymore. I feel like whenever I give presentations, they're like, oh, Juul's not really popular anymore. It's always these products. And it's like, it's because the flavors went away. You don't see youth using these products anymore because there's no more flavors. So I do hope and I do believe that there will be a flavor ban in the future. And that's why people like Kellen, Micah, the youth across Texas are working so hard to pass legislation like that to ban these products. And in the near future, I do believe there will be advocates all across Texas, and even the world being able to give out good information to help pass a flavor ban. Ms. Vilma Wolf asks, what makes you so passionate about educating others on the harmful effects of smoking, vaping, etc.? That is a fantastic question, Ms. Vilma. Shout out the Blue Dragons, one of our key role players right there. My mom has been smoking for half of her life. She's been smoking for a long time, and seeing her go through those harmful effects that these products have on her, I never want to see people that I love go through that as well. I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and every single year I've just become even more passionate about it. And it's just something else. So like I said, my mom has been smoking for half of her life, and once I saw her, having the bronchitis attacks where she's like coughing and she's going through all these things, I was like, I want to do something. So I applied to be a teen ambassador, and I ended up getting accepted somehow. And now I've been, traveling across Texas, being able to do this for you guys. And it's a blessing. And I just care so much about people, and these products, like there's no reason for people to be doing this. They're just shortening their lifespan. So thank you for the amazing question, Ms. Vilma. This asks, how can we advocate against these new products? That is a fantastic question, and I have an even better answer for you. We are having a Teen Ambassador live session where you guys can join a meeting, and we can show you guys how to apply to be a teen ambassadors. So if you guys think you can pull through and do what we do, I completely believe everybody can do it. So we are having one of those things, and it will be talked about later on in the future. I'll answer one more question, and then we will cut it off. So Ms. Jen says, somehow, I think we all know why you're accepted. You guys are sweethearts. Don't make my head big. The TAs will hear it all day, and Kathleen will be on me. Anyways, the last question I'm going to be answering today, because I think I'm running out of time, will be, how do you think I can help my family stop smoking or vaping? That is an absolutely fantastic question. I think the best way to approach somebody that is smoking or vaping is to just tell them you care about them. Like, hey, like, tell them, like, you know, these products are just as bad as, you know, smoking a whole pack of cigarettes. Like, why are we doing this when you could be living life with me and going, having fun and doing like fun things, when instead you're addicted to a product? You know, it's just like, like, I think what I do to my mom is I go up to her and I'm like, hey, I mean, I joke around with my mom a lot. I'll start coughing in front of her because I love her so much. Anyways, I just think the best way, and I learned this through Say What, was to be nice to them and be like, hey, I care so much about you. Let's make sure you get some help and find a way to not be addicted to these products. So if you go to any website, Truth Initiative, Say What, all these tobacco prevention organizations websites, there is such great information on there. And on especially on the Say What website, we have some amazing videos that you can watch that talk about how you can help. And there's so many facts about it. So the best way to answer that question is just don't be mean to them, and don't be like, hey, I need you to quit, because that is never going to work. You always have to work through it with them, because it is hard to overcome an addiction. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, can I get a let's go in the chat? Let's go, guys. This was fantastic. Thank you guys so much for letting me present to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end it off here. Thank you so much, Miss Jennifer. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys later on. Shout out, because I'm going to be in that show with you guys. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much.